Let's see. Will we be able to see everybody on this video?
People turn
Their
on
cameras
their
are off.
Yeah, it says we can't see each other unless you turn on the video.
Sorry.
Does that mean we're going to be on?
Right now. Sorry.
I have a message that says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Yeah, I have the same message.
Well, this means we can meet in our underwear. That'd be fine.
Ryan, does something need to happen on your end?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just checking that out. This is the first time that we've done this as well, so we appreciate your patience. Regarding the public meeting like this.
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of new things you have to comply with the sunshine law for the administrative portions of our meeting. And I know we have the audio going, but not the, I guess, the video portion. I'm just wondering what impact that has on whether we need to pause the meeting or not, but we'll just go ahead. I'm not sure. This is a public meeting, so members of the public can link into this meeting. I just don't know how many members of the public are listening in right now. But I need to start with some housekeeping matters relating to this this audio. Number one, the Zoom chat function will allow you to chat with the technical staff only. Please use the chat only for technical issues. Two, if you are disconnected unexpectedly, you may attempt to rejoin the meeting. Please note that the department is not responsible for any bad internet connections on the testifier's end. Three, in the case of a catastrophic network failure, it may be necessary to reschedule the hearing. In that case, an appropriate public notice will be posted. And number four, the hearing will include closed captioning and will be archived on YouTube.
Can I activate your camera now? There you go. Thank you. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay. I see Franco and Daryl.
Yeah, you should see me now too, for that matter.
Okay.
You see me? I can see you.
Yes, I see Val. Yeah.
Okay.
And
if I speak, my screen comes up.
Patrick, are you gonna? Okay. Okay.
I'm here, but since I'm not a member of the board, just here as counsel for the board, I'll leave my camera off so it's not distracting.
Okay. Yeah, for the board members, Patrick Kelly is a Deputy Attorney General assigned to the board. Okay, first order of business is a roll call, and I'm Glenn Sakuda. I'm the chairperson of the board. I served on the Oahu Board of Review for about 1.5 years, although we've only spent about the last February to June having hearings. I'm currently retired. Before that, I spent 40 years with a national accounting firm in the tax function. So that in general is my background. The vice chairman of the board is Richard, although I think you go by Gary Rovelstad.
Gary. Yeah.
Can you say a little bit about yourself?
I don't know, whatever Valerie can tell you about me. I served with Valerie on the board for the 3rd district for 4 or 5 years, some amount of time. I have a PhD in accounting, economics, and statistics. I'm also CPA, and I'm licensed in the state of Wisconsin. I'm also, like you, retired. So I haven't done anything real for a long time except swim under the water.
That's one answer. But the other one
sounds like I'm a politician, but that's about it. Anyway, as I said, I've served on the board in the 3rd district since 2019 until I think that's about right.
Okay.
And I do go by. I am introduced as doctor, but I don't use the title that much. So Gary's just fine.
Okay. And 3rd district is Hawaii Island, right?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. The other member coming from the Hawaii Island district is Valerie Peralto. Valerie, can you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Valerie Peralto. I have lived and worked in the island of Hawaii my entire life. I currently I'm a practicing CPA with a practice in Hilo, and in practice about 38 years. And I did serve on the 3rd district board with Gary for 5 to 6 years. So I'm a current practitioner.
Thank you. Ryan, I'm hearing voices in the background. Is there?
I think Patrick has to mute himself.
Oh, okay. Next on my list is Bill Curtis. He was from the Maui board. Bill, can you say a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I'm a non-accountant, although I did study it in business school. But I'm a general contractor, and I served on the Maui board for 5 years. And the contracting came up because a lot of the cases we had were the exemptions related to PV and other alternative energy. So I was useful to a certain extent.
Oh, good.
We cleared a lot of cases several years ago, and then maybe we just didn't have a quorum, but I haven't had a meeting in probably 2.5 years.
Yeah, actually, I got a list of the backlog from each district office, and Maui has no backlog, so maybe that's why I didn't have any meetings.
Could be, yeah. I think they changed our Maui district office manager, so the old contact I had, I just follow up every now and then I got a response that the email is no longer active, so I'm not sure who the new administrator is here.
Oh, okay. From the Oahu board, we have Francis Imada. Franco, let's see his nickname.
Hi, my nickname is Franco. I was in a national accounting firm, 20 years in taxes, and about 25 years as a CFO for an Australian public company. And I've been on the Oahu board, the same as Glenn, we really kind of worked hard every month. We had about 6 cases that we're looking at. We were on a roll until it stopped here. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, and also from the Oahu board, Neil Hirasuna.
Hi, good morning. I'm Neil. I worked at a previous CPA firm for about 9 or 10 years and currently work for a fishing company. This is my second term on the Oahu board.
Okay. And seventh member, Daryl Como. Daryl, have you signed the oath of office yet? Are you officially a member?
No, not yet. I don't think I've signed the oath, but I got the letter from the governor.
Okay. Okay.
But then, yeah, so I'm new to the board right now.
Okay. You want to say a little bit about your background?
Okay, I'm still working. Okay, not retired yet. Cannot afford to be retired. Been working in public accounting for, same as Glenn, about 40 plus years. Work for Robert Leong and Company. So, and then I just came off the Board of Accountancy.
Okay, good. So even though the board has 10 seats, up to 10 seats, we have only 7 at the moment. So not really sure what the governor's plans are for the other 3 seats, but for now, it's just the 7 of us. But to get to the next step, wanted to work out a schedule of hearings for, and the way we did it with the Oahu board is there were 3 of us and we just came up with a calendar showing what days, what months we're available. And on days that 3 of us were available, we presented that to the Department of Taxation and they came up with their proposed calendar of hearing dates. So I'm thinking of following the same procedure. The scheduling is an administrative function, so it needs to be done. If I do it, I need to do it in a public hearing like this one. So I've asked, instead of me doing it and having to schedule these meetings frequently, I've asked Linda and Pam from the director's office to see if they would be able to handle the scheduling. So I'm going to ask Linda to send out, I've drafted an information request to find out what everybody's availability is for in January to June of next year and for November of this year, just to get a sense of how often you'd be able to meet to hear cases. And the time involved is going to be more than just the time for the hearing. The Department of Taxation will send out a briefing memo before the hearing, and what we've done in the past is review the memo. We get together and discuss, what questions we had, so we could kind of focus our questions at the hearing, because the hearings were scheduled for an hour. Some of the cases required a lot of additional information, so we wanted to do that as efficiently as possible. So thinking of doing that also. And for the first district, in a lot of cases, there was a lot of additional information presented at the hearings. So we didn't render a decision on the day of the hearing. Usually it was sometime after that, after everybody had a chance to review all of the information and get together and talk again about what our conclusions would be. So I'm looking at that. So, but the first step, just the next step, I'm just looking to find dates where all 7 of us are available and see how that coincides with the availability of the department's people, because they have to have their auditors available on those same dates for presentations. So I'm,
Is there a particular time of day that you normally would hold the meeting?
normally it would be between the hours of 10 and 2. But that's one of the questions on the information request, if there are other times of the day. And now we're going to do all the hearings like this online. So we save the commute time. Maybe we could, doesn't have to be like 3 consecutive, 4 consecutive. We could kind of scatter it among different days and times and so forth. But I think all of that has to be worked out yet. So with the information request, if you have any other ideas as how we can schedule these things, you know, just send it on to Linda or Pam. So that was the scheduling part of the agenda.
Lynn, can I say something?
Yeah, Val?
We had our hearings in the 3rd district here. One of the things that we found was efficient was if they could schedule, you know, if we're blocking out most of a day anyway, to schedule a couple or 2 or 3 hearings all on one day. So we could take a chunk of work, you know, get it done instead of just one hearing. But I'm not sure if these cases are a lot more involved and require a lot more time. But we found it efficient to be able to, you know, if the department scheduled multiple hearings on one day.
Right. For the Oahu district, we did the same. We had 3 cases scheduled on a single day, but I'm just looking to see, not before I just had to deal with 3 people scheduled. Now it's 7. I'm not really sure what I'm going to find. So we'll try to schedule cases in a block if we can. But if the availability doesn't permit that, then we'll look at alternatives. So we're just at the information gathering stage. Okay, the third item that I wanted to talk about is just an overview of the changes made by Act 118 from this past 2021 legislature. Basically, it changed the structure of the Board of Review system. Whereas each district had its own board, now there's one statewide board. The old district boards had memberships of 5. The new statewide board, which came into being on June 28th of this year, has a maximum membership of 10, but otherwise it doesn't specify how many need to be on the board at any particular time. Right now, we'll have 7. So we'll work with that. One thing that the old law had was the Director of Taxation had the authority to create additional boards when the backlog of appeal cases was large and couldn't be reasonably expected to be resolved within the next year. And at least for Oahu, we've had that situation for a while. But Act 118 removed that authority. So it's just the 7 of us that has to deal with this backlog. So I think there's going to be an emphasis on hearing as many cases as we can. But it's going to be a marathon, so it's going to be a marathon matter of pacing ourselves. So, what can you comfortably deal with, per year, per month? Because this will probably go on for years. Act 118 added a provision saying 3 board members, says at least 3 board members shall be present at any meeting or proceeding of the board to constitute a quorum. So to have any hearing, we have to have at least 3 members present, but I think we should try to get all 7 if we can. Act 118 added a provisions, section 232-6C says any vacancy on the board shall not impair the authority of the remaining members to exercise all the powers of the board. I'm not really sure what that applies to and what effect it will have, but and I posed that question to Patrick and his co-counsel, so we'll find out what that applies to. I think, to me, this one adds to the board's workload. Act 118 added a requirement that the board's decision needs to include a written statement of its finding of facts and conclusion of law. Not sure what the other districts' decision looks like, but previously with the Oahu board, it was kind of a check the box form for the director or for the taxpayer and an amount. So now we're going to have to write with every decision a finding of facts and conclusions of law. For some of the cases, some of the Oahu cases, I would write an explanation as to how we reached our decision. So I can draft these findings of fact and conclusions of law, but if anybody else wants to volunteer to write some of these, that would be great. I see Neil raising his hand over there.
No takers over here, Glenn.
That was all I had on my planned agenda. Does anybody have anything else?
Glenn, I have a question.
Yep.
What is there any information that we need to review as new participants on the board, like like the sunshine law rules or things like that?
I think as soon as you sign your oath of office, Patrick will send you the memo that and it's under attorney-client privilege. So when you formally become a member of the board, you'll get that package. It's kind of long, so if you can't sleep at night.
So Glenn,
Yep.
I have some questions actually, maybe Patrick can handle. Is this where we're going to executive session?
It depends on the subject matter, I think.
It's all about the Q&A that was distributed and kind of clarifying some of those.
Patrick, you want to weigh in on that?
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to give any advice and counsel to the board members, but we would need to do that in executive session.
So I guess my question is, should we go to executive session? Because I got just a couple of questions that Patrick maybe can help us with.
Okay. Before we do that, there was a fourth item, public testimony. Linda or Pam, is anybody waiting to give testimony?
No one is.
No.
Okay. So to go to executive session, we need a vote of the board members, I think. Is that right, Patrick?
That's correct.
So voting for going into executive session now, I vote yes. Gary,
I vote yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Franco,
Yep.
Val.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, Daryl, I think we have to exclude you at this point. So we have to log out of this meeting, and there was another link that we got.
Correct. You should have received the Teams meeting from Pam for the executive session.
That was in yesterday's emails.
Yes,
Is
we
that
have to log out and go to Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we'll conclude this public portion of the meeting. It's
So Glenn,
Yes.
am I able to attend the executive session, or am I excluded from that too?
Patrick, I think because Daryl hasn't signed his oath yet, would he need to be excluded?
Unfortunately, that's my understanding at this point, yes.
Okay, that's
Sorry,
fine.
Daryl.
Okay, no, that's fine.
How close are you to the DOTAX office? Can you sprint over there and sign?
No, I'm not that fast.
Okay. Well,
Mr. Como,
it's-
once we conclude that, I can take notes of the executive session and we'll get you the packet and be happy to, get you any other additional information that you need.
All right, thank you.
Okay, it's 11:30. We'll adjourn the public portion of today's meeting.
There's a question in the, from an attendee. They want to know
Okay.
how will they know when the executive session ends and the regular meeting resumes?
I have no other items on the regular agenda, so this public session is not going to resume. Oh, no, I didn't even see that question.
And if you hit the chat button, it comes up on the side. I just wanted to address the question for the public there.
I see. Okay, the public meeting is adjourned. We'll log off now and reconvene in the Teams meeting link. Thank you.